everybody. My name is Esther Yang, and I'm so grateful today, of course, that I have Assembly Member Harvey Epstein, who is, I think, the most hardworking Assembly member ever. He's not my Assembly member. I wish he is my Assembly member, but he is one of the most hardworking and super happy, healthy kids. Schools are mostly in his district. Well, I used to live in Tudor City, so he used to be my Assembly member, but no longer, and I miss him. But even though, I want my viewers to know that even though I'm not his constituent, Assemblymember Harvey Epstein's always really work hard for the whole community in New York. But today's topic, I want to talk about, the evictions moratorium, because August 31st is done, and then we have the U.S. Supreme Court that's kind of like cut off something for the New York State, and I want to know, a lot of my viewers want to know what's going to happen after August 31st. So let's start with the moratorium. So moratoriums still take place on August 31st, correct? For residential.
Yes, so New York passed a commercial and residential eviction moratorium to August 31st that expires, and White House has a moratorium that's in effect until October 3rd, a national moratorium, which is not as broad as the New York State moratorium. And so there, ours expires soon, so eviction cases can commence as of September 1st if we don't extend the moratorium. And there's also the Supreme Court case, which talked about our rent relief program, which I'm happy to discuss as well.
Yeah, so when you said October 3rd, so does that mean New York State residents and commercial have till October 3rd?
It's a residential moratorium that the White House put it into effect. Some people can take advantage of it. It is not as broad as our moratorium, so it won't affect everyone. It'll affect people who have rent arrear issues, and our moratorium affected all eviction cases.
And also, I read somewhere that we have like $2.something billion that the Governor Cuomo has not released that, and it's actually, in a way, it's not really fair to the landlord as well. And so what do you do with that money that's not being released by the governor?
So in April, we passed the budget with $2.7 billion in rent relief. The governor has been slow rolling the process. Even though over 170,000 people have applied and been approved for the rent relief, less than 7,000 people have got money distributed. Less than $100,000 out of the $2.7 billion have been allocated 4% of the money, and the governor's just moving really slowly. So, what the Supreme Court decided in that about our rent relief program was, if someone applied for the program, there was a stay on their eviction. What the Supreme Court said is it can't be an automatic stay. The landlord has the right to be able to contest that stay in court under a due process argument. So we have to go back to Albany to extend the eviction moratorium, and also to fix the EVAP program to ensure that people who are eligible for rent relief won't get evicted in the interim.
So you're saying that you have to go back to Albany to extend instead of August 31st to go longer?
Exactly.
What are your chances of that? Because we're going to have a new governor soon, and this ex-governor is only going to be with us for maybe 8 or 9 more days. And then you think that the possibility for the Assembly and the Senate, or do you need the Senate and the Assembly, or the governor can just sign it and say, okay, not August 31st, but September 31st, September 30th or something like that?
Well, the governor doesn't have the authority right now to extend the moratorium. We passed legislation in May that limited their ability to deal with COVID-related extensions of executive power, because the Governor Cuomo had abused his executive power. Mm-hmm. So we would have to go back to the legislative session. It's my expectation that we need to go back in. We need to go back in anyway to look at the impeachment files and I believe, to move forward on impeachment for Governor Cuomo, even though he's stepping down next week. So I do think we have lots of things, and we can go in and extend the moratorium. We are out of session right now, but all we need to do is get called in by the new governor or by our leader to come back into session. Governor almost elect Hochul, in 5 days from now, Governor Hochul has already said that we need to come back to Albany to fix the moratorium, to extend it, and to fix the rent relief program. So high expectation between what she's saying and what we're saying in the legislature, that we'll have a solution soon.
So you think that it will happen before the 31st?
I'm not that optimistic we'll get it done before the 31st, but I'm optimistic that we'll get it done at some point soon.
So what do
We'll
you
extend the
do?
moratorium.
So what do you do with the viewers that has a stay or holdover until August 31st?
I would say reach out to your state elected official, tell them what's going on, let them know what your concerns are. We need more people like me speaking up to leadership and speaking up online saying we need to extend the moratorium. We haven't had as many leaders in the Assembly and the Senate really speaking publicly and privately to leadership, and we need to do that to ensure we extend the moratorium.
When you talk about leadership, are you talking about that all my viewers need to call Speaker Hasty?
I think they should be calling their own assembly member and their own senator, and then I think our job is to tell Speaker Hastie's that we want to extend the moratorium.
So everybody, so if you guys are listening, this is Assemblymember Harvey Epstein. We're asking if you have a problem with your rent, we're asking you to contact your elected officials, so assembly member or senator or even city council to help, and then they'll be able to help you. But there's also that my neighbors receive that, if you have problem with the landlord or tenant, they make you call like 311 and they have this form that they have to fill out. Can you just tell us more about that?
So if you have a rent arrears problem, there's an application form to fill out, and you can apply on your own, or you can go with a community-based organization, or your elected official's office can help you fill it out, which will pay all your rent arrears as long as you're below what's called 80% of AMI, which is a family of four making $80,000 or less. So you're eligible for assistance, financial rent assistance from the state. All you have to do is fill out the application. If you're an excluded worker, someone who's undocumented, you can apply for the excluded worker fund, which you can be eligible for $15,000. If you're a small business and you have losses in 2020, you can apply for the Small Business Relief Fund. You can reach out to me, you can reach out to Esther, or she can connect you up with anyone.
Yes.
Who your assembly member or senators can help you fill out all these applications. So if you're a business, you're a tenant, you're someone who's undocumented and needs support, anyone can get the help they need. You just need to reach out, and we can help you get to the right place.
Yeah, anyone can actually contact me. It's Esther at superhappyhealthykids.com, and I can either connect you to your correct elected official, or I can just turn it over to Assembly Harvey Epstein. By the way, he is the most busiest. Like I said, he has all these schedule, and so he's also busy. But we will help you. Right? We will help you. We'll figure it out and how to do it. And also, if you are really stuck, even in the court, let me know. But the court is not 100% open. I don't know. I mean, they supposedly they're open, but they're not. Assembly members.
So there aren't eviction cases moving forward. People are now filing new cases, and people are appearing in court. But because the moratorium is still in place, people are not being evicted. But that doesn't mean we need to hear from people. We do need to hear from people who have concerns or have cases or are behind on their rent, and we want them to avoid going to court at all. So anything that you can do to let us know, my office, your assembly member, senator, they can help you get through this really complicated process.
Yeah, anyone that needs like help with anything with the court, just let me know too, because there are a lot of pro bono attorney, and actually at 111 Center Street there's legal aid that will help you do this, because eviction process is really not good with the increase of lambda, because this is why I think it's not, I don't want the landlord to feel that, we're just attacking them. I think this is for public interest. And it's not just tenant versus landlord, but merely because the evictions moratorium is to avoid the increase of the COVID. And now with Delta going up, and I think the last time I checked, it was like close to 70%, the positive rate for 70, and now Lambda is coming up. Another variant is coming. So can you explain about the U.S. Supreme Court and what they did to New York, and how the tenant can protect themselves besides just calling the office or calling the elected officials, so they're much more well informed?
Yeah, so basically we passed a rent relief program that was anyone who was below 80% of what's called area median income, the state would pay their rent if they applied. And at the same time,
no worries. Welcome to New York. The noise.
Exactly.
Okay.
Once they applied for the program, there was an eviction stay. so the landlord couldn't move forward with an eviction. What the Supreme Court said was, separate from the eviction moratorium, just on this what's called ERAP program, you can't automatically stay in eviction without the landlord being able to contest it. They argued it was a violation of due process in a 6-3 decision, and said that our program was unconstitutional.
Okay.
So all that means is we have to amend the program, which says, we call it a rebuttable presumption. The tenant can apply, you can't evict unless you prove that they didn't do it in good faith, or they're not really behind on their rent. So, just because someone declares that they have a problem doesn't mean it's factually true. So that's what the Supreme Court said. The landlord should have a right to a due process argument to be able to contest the tenant's claim that they're behind on their rent.
So just so that we're all clear, just because the landlord say that you owe X, Y, and Z money, you don't have to be evicted. You can like I said, 111 Center has a legal pro bono attorney that can help you, and just because the landlord feel that way, they don't have the right. At the court, sometimes the judge actually will give a couple more months extra or work it out. So it's really up to the judge, even though, correct? I mean, even though U.S. Supreme Court say this, but it's really up to the New York Housing Court.
Yeah, so the Housing Court judge will decide, but what we're saying is it doesn't even go to the Housing Court if you submit your ERAP application or your declaration of hardship. What we need to do is change the program a little, which will allow a Housing Court judge to make that final decision, which is what we need to go back to Albany to tweak the program, our ERAP, our rent relief program for tenants.
Is it still too late? Because people said, well, if you didn't apply then, it's too late now. Is it still too late?
No, it's not. They're collecting applications every day, and they'll keep collecting applications till they spend the money. About 170,000 people have applied. We know there's probably over 600,000 people who have rent arrears still. If you are falling behind your rent, we encourage you to apply. You can go to community groups like in my neighborhood, go to Lower East Side, or Cooper Square Committee can help you fill out the application. But there are groups all over, Tenants and Neighbors, Met Council on Housing, which would be happy to help you fill out the application.
So if you guys, just to recap, you can contact the Assemblymember Harvey Epstein, contact your elected official, your senator, or your assembly member, and you can also call 311, right?
You call 301 or look for a community-based organization in your neighborhood who helps fill it out.
So it's community-based, non-for-profit or anything like that. And if you're really stuck, really, go to 111 Center. 111 Center Street is downstairs. There's like free legal services. If you have questions about your lease, you have questions about your landlord, you have questions about any legal things, about anything that you want to know, they offer free services. And if you're stuck and you can't think straight, and if you panic, you can't think straight. Okay, so don't panic. So you can also call 311 and then ask for free legal services, and they do. They might be able to direct you to the right directions. And this is just a little update from our previous segment, and also Assembly Harvey Epstein. He is fantastic. His office is East 7th Street and Avenue B, I'm pretty sure. And if it's not, Google him. It's Assemblymember Harvey Epstein. He's absolutely fantastic. So you can just go to his office or call his office and ask for an assistance for anything. Your unemployment, well, I know the unemployment ran out, but your commercial lease, your residential lease, he's just one of the most hardworking person that I've ever known. So do contact his office if you're stuck. That's 111 Center Street. Call 301 Assembly Harvey Epstein. Just to give you updated with our new governor. I know that the Governor Harkle has it for January 2020 for the evictions for residential and commercial, if I'm not mistaken. But again, if you're confused, call 311, call the governor's office, call the assembly member office, and you can also shoot me an email. If there's anything I can do, you can shoot it at either EstherYangCommunity@gmail.com. All right? Thank you, everyone. Thank you so much for being here. Thank you for all your support. And if you have any other idea what kind of other shows you would like to have, let me know, and I'll invite some of my friends as guests. Bye. Have a great day. I want to thank Assemblymember Harvey Epstein, the most hardworking elected official ever. He is just awesome. And he just support not only his community and everybody else. So don't forget to like and subscribe, and you can shoot us an email and a Facebook, message us. It's styoungcommunity@gmail. And if you want to donate, the money will go to AAPI for Change and Super Happy Healthy Kids. And this is a more like a public service, PSA, because we invite elected official and friends to make this world better. Bye. Thank you.